I'm going to give an overview here of the functionality of the PTZ speed thumb camera with a zoom factor of 10, okay? So we'll just look at the screen display here. So we can see that it's coming in from camera number 7. The pan angle on it is 167 degrees and the actual tilt angle is 0. So it's actually just aiming directly horizontal to the ground. And the zoom factor we have here is a factor 1, okay? So the first thing I'm going to start off and just show how this handles, would say, if we want to do a full 180 degree rotation. We could of course press the right button here and spin 180 degrees, but I'm just going to show how it operates here by just pressing the arrow down button here. And we can see the angles changing. When it gets to 90 degrees, it actually flicks, rotates 180 degrees and comes back up here. And so what we'll see here is we're after focusing in here. So in this thing here, we're going to cover a total of 3 areas: a yard, a back garden, and also an alleyway, okay? So if we wanted to come along here, we'll say, and zoom in, we'll say, on this hose pipe here, we can just hit the plus here. And so we're coming in here. This is even at a factor of 4. We can see an awful lot of detail here. We just arrow a little bit left, and then we can just zoom again. And we've got a very clear path. You can see there how clear, we'll say, we can see the paving here. And if we just arrow left here, we come right in, and then we can angle down on the hose pipe here. Okay. Now this is we're viewing here. So you know it's very, very good resolution on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm just going to spin around. So we're just going to go. This is working over a doorway. So what I've actually done here is I've mounted this PTZ camera over a doorway, so a single camera can access both the garden, and I showed the alleyway here we want to cover. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually tilt this up. I'm going to bring it up to a level angle here, okay? So just to note one thing here, if we move this at zoom, so when we're moving the camera, we're moving it at zoom factor of 1, okay? And if we move it here, a single jump, it'll probably move it about 5 degrees or so. So we've gone from 66 degrees, hit it one time, and we've gone to 71 degrees. Now we can get it much finer movements, but we have to zoom in before we can do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in on this sign that I see here and find out what's written on this sign. Okay? So we're just going to zoom in all the way, and we can see here, what we actually have here is a sign, and it says TV trade. Okay, so the writing here is probably about 25 millimeters away, and the sign is about 12 meters from the camera, and the writing that's here is about 15 millimeters high, and so we can see anyway, it gives quite a good resolution on that. So I'm going to zoom this right back out, and now I'm going to cover the third area that we're covering, which is where we started, which is back out in the yard. Okay, so we come along here, and what we see is, so we can see up close, we can actually see the actual dashing on the wall. But we see this truck here, and we might be quite interested if we can see the truck parked, and we want to see the reg number. So this is probably about maybe 15 meters away, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I just have the pan, the tilt angle, I just want to bring it back to 0, because we're trying to zoom into something that's far away, and particularly if the PTZ camera is not mounted very high, we want to have the tilt angle because we'll be zooming downwards, we'll say, centerizing on the picture. So I'll just do the plus here, and we can see even at a zoom factor of 5, there's no difficulty here whatsoever in reading this reg, okay? So what we can do here is, I'm just going to continue to zoom all the way in, and we can see at this point, we can actually see the reg number extremely clearly, but now we can also clearly make out both the Ireland and indeed the European flag above it. So if I just zoom back out here, you can see, and so you know it's a very, very versatile camera. It gives excellent resolution, and in terms of, we'll say, the applications for it, you know, it's ideal, we'll say, for covering a large number of areas, particularly in a commercial industrial area, but used widely also, we'll say, in well floodlit sheds with cabin cameras, etc. So that's it anyway, an overview of the PTZ speed dome camera with zoom factor 10.